Good afternoon, everybody. A privilege to be with you on this holy day in this beautiful place. You know, it's kind of a commonplace of the psychological profession that if you want to effect healing in someone, you've got to get to the underlying problem. It's difficult because we're great at covering up and repressing and suppressing and denying and making excuses, right? So the first move is often to get behind all of that, to find out what's generating the problem. Well, there's something very similar in the spiritual order. What's the source of our deepest suffering? It's always the same thing, everybody. It's sin. Sin is rebellion against God. Sin is standing athwart the will of God. But we are expert at making excuses, covering up, denying, suppressing, blaming somebody else. We won't find healing until we uncover the truth of our own sinfulness. Can I suggest, I know we hear the Passion reading every year. Can I suggest that's one of the purposes of this reading? In the glare of the cross of Jesus, we see illumined our own sinfulness. We're meant to see in all of these different characters what our own rebellion against God looks like. Do we betray the Lord as Judas did? Yep, every time we sin. Even we who gather around the table with him on a weekly or daily basis, as Judas did. Do we deny him as Peter did? You bet, every time we sin. But also if we find ourselves maybe in, a certain company that we're a little bit embarrassed by our faith and we don't even talk about it. Do we show deep injustice in our lives, like Caiaphas and Pilate? Do we cave in to the pressure of the crowd, as Pilate did? We do that. Do we show sometimes the cruelty of those Roman soldiers? Yeah, sometimes. How about the people that mock him even as he hangs from the cross? Every time we engage in verbal violence, go online any time of the day or night, you'll see plenty of verbal violence. Hatred, cruelty, denial, betrayal, injustice, all of it is on display in this reading. And we're meant to see ourselves reflected in it. You know, the great Russian novelist Dostoevsky and his brothers Karamazov has that famous scene of the Grand Inquisitor, the whole point of which is this: if Jesus came back now to us, we'd welcome him with open arms. We'd be so overjoyed. Says Dostoevsky, we'd kill him again. Didn't St. Peter say in one of his early sermons, the author of life came and you killed him? See, that's the bright light that shines from the cross on our own sinfulness. We're meant to see it clearly. You know who echoed Dostoevsky was my first grade teacher, Sister Myra. I can still remember her. She said to us, little kids, 6 years old, every time you sin, it's as though you're pounding the nail into the hand of Jesus. A bit of Catholic piety, maybe, but making the same point. Every sin is a rebellion against him. There's no hiding, everybody. We can try, we can run, but we can't hide. In the glare of the cross, we see our sins. But see, this is called Good Friday because that's a good thing. That's a good thing that we admit our sinfulness, that we see it. But here's the second move. What do we hear from that cross? Condemnation? Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. What does the risen Jesus say when he returns to these disciples who, yes, had betrayed and denied and abandoned him and run from him? What does he say? I condemn you. Shalom. Peace. We killed God, and God returned in forgiving love. The cross is judgment, yes, and the cross is mercy, yes. And in that combination, we find salvation. You see, if the cross was just judgment, it would leave us in a kind of spiritual lurch. All right, I'm a terrible sinner. If the cross was just mercy, it'd be kind of a cheap grace. No, the cross of Jesus is both judgment and mercy. Both judgment and mercy. We see our sins, good, they're exposed to us clearly, and we sense His merciful love. It's in that combination, everybody, that we find salvation. You know what that word salvation just means? It means healing. Salus in Latin means health. Healing. In the judgment and the mercy of the cross, we find healing, which is precisely why, in just a few minutes, we're all going to come forward to reverence the cross of Jesus.